There was a time when any military operation carried out by the West were considered as a global benchmark. In fact, they set the bar high when it came to synergy, use of indigenous weapons, and also precision. Their operation made it to the silver screen, became subject of study at global institutions. In fact, glorification was done in such a manner that everyone was made to believe that only West is capable of executing such military operations. Well, not anymore. What better example to prove this than the recently executed India's Operation Sindoor? The tactical brilliance of Operation Sindoor showed India's capability to strike at the heart of terror. Operation Sindoor emerged as a calibrated military response to an evolving pattern of asymmetric warfare, one that increasingly targets unarmed civilians along with military personals. In fact, India's response to Pahalgam terror attack carried out by Lashkar-e-Toiba's outfit TRF was deliberate, precise and strategic. Murid in Pakistan is believed to be the headquarters of Lashkar-e-Toiba. Without crossing the line of control or international borders, Indian forces hit terrorist infrastructures and eliminated multiple terror threats. However, beyond tactical brilliance, what stood out was the seamless integration of indigenous high-tech systems into India's national defense and how synergy played a pivotal role in execution of Operation Sindoor. Whether in drone warfare, layered defense or electronic warfare, Operation Sindoor marks a milestone in India's journey towards technologically self-reliance in military operations. It is also important to highlight how India's homegrown systems built over the last decade with continuous state investments proved to be a force multiplier during this operation. In fact, the biggest example of it would be the multi-tier air defense that prevented Pakistani Air Force attacks on Indians' airfield and logistical installations during the night of May 9th and May 10th. The night of May 7th and 8th showed the world how technology proved to be India's first line of defense. In fact, Pakistan attempted to engage a number of military targets in northern and western India, using Turkish drones and also missiles. All these projectiles were neutralized by the integrated counter-unmanned aerial system grids and India's air defense systems. In fact, on the morning of May 8th, India targeted air defense radars and systems at a number of locations in Pakistan and destroyed an air defense system in Lahore. Operation Sindoor saw the use of battle-proven air defense systems like the Pichora, OSA-AK and low-level air defense guns. Not only these, but indigenous systems such as the Akash demonstrated a stellar performance. India's air defense systems, combining the assets of Army, Navy and primarily of the Indian Air Force, performed with exceptional synergy. In fact, the integrated air command and control system of the Indian Air Force brought all these elements together, providing the net-centric operational capability vital for modern warfare. These systems created an impenetrable wall, foiling multiple attempts by Pakistan to strike. True, the Russian S-400 system played a crucial role in Operation Sindoor. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself acknowledged its importance by posing next to an S-400 launcher during his visit to the Adampur Air Force Station recently. However, experts have highlighted that indigenously built radars have been a key player during Operation Sindoor. From tracking of adversary drones to tracking the movement of airborne assets of enemy was only possible because of such state-of-the-art technologies. India's air defense comprises of an array of different radars and weapon systems which work in conjunction and were successful in neutralizing almost every Pakistani attack. The radars used included indigenously developed Rajendra radars, Rohini 3D medium, range surveillance radars, 3D low-level lightweight radars and low-level transportation radars. Now, DRDO is also putting in a lot of effort to include AI tools for radars, for reconfiguration, intelligence resurface, for cognitive technology, better signal processing tools, in fact also for penetration radars and stealth detection radars. Indian air defense systems also include newly inducted surface-to-air missiles, which assured retaliation systems that can intercept a range of low-flying aerial targets up to a range of 12 kilometers, and not to forget Akash, the short to medium range surface to air missile system. Moreover, the original Bofors anti-air guns, which are currently being upgraded, are learned to have been used to shoot down incoming drones in Jammu and Kashmir. The indigenous upgradation of these guns includes the addition of radars, electro-optical sensors, and auto-tracking systems too. The integration of drone warfare into India's military doctrine owes its success to years of domestic research and development, and also to the policy reforms. And this was the first India-Pakistan conflict in which drones and other unmanned systems played a crucial role. Indian armed forces confirmed that Indian drones penetrated deep into Pakistani airspace, inflicting damage on strategic targets, showing their capabilities. Not to forget about the enterprise-grade drones. India is no longer just flying machines. They are software-defined platforms. Artificial intelligence is also enabling drones to intercept visual data, detect anomalies in infrastructure, and operate on their own in unstructured environments. In fact, another capability Indian drones have is the edge computing, which allows for local data processing during flight, reducing latency and enabling real-time decision-making. India also has several indigenous drones such as the Nagastra-1, which is a suicide drone, Rustam-2, medium altitude long endurance drone, and Archer-NG, armed tactical drone, all of which have demonstrated their technological capabilities. Operation Sindoor is not just a story of tactical success. It's a story that defines synergy between Indian armed forces. It is a validation of India's defense indigenization policies, from air defense systems to drones, from counter-UAS capabilities to net-centric warfare platforms. Indigenous technology has delivered when it mattered most. In future conflicts, the battlefield will be increasingly be shaped by technology. And India has shown in Operation Sindoor is ready, armed with its own innovation.